Hey, honey,
Yes, Barry?
let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Fascina el viento, este ritmo de palmas, sin ti naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta.
Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler, and I'm just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination. Maybe it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. That music you're listening to is performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the Lapa Lapa group of restaurants here in Puerto Vallarta. Those are the Lapa Lapa, the El Dorado Beach Club, and at night, that El Dorado Beach Club transforms into the ever-so-romantic Vista Grill with dramatic views of the Los Muertos Pier, all lit up at night in beautiful colors. And of course, at Lapa Lapa, you can enjoy that same view of the Los Muertos Pier all day long for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. This week, I have a very special interview with my new friend, Memo Lira. Memo has a tour company called Vallarta 101, and we're going to get to that interview just as soon as we see what's happening this week in Puerto Vallarta, the 6th of June, 2018. Well, we had our first measurable amount of rain this season. It happened last night. Of course, water is welcome this time of year. Things get really, really dry and they get really, really dusty when you get into the months of April and May and June, of course. And a good rain really cures a lot of ills. But, soon we're all going to be complaining about the buckets full of rain that are going to be soon on their way. And I don't know if you know this or not, but rain season actually kicks off on my birthday, June 15th. So I'm going to be watching that Quatis webcam on my birthday and find out if the rains have arrived or not. Restaurant Week continues until the 10th of June, so if you're in town, you need to take advantage of the specials that are being offered at some of your favorite restaurants. Get out there, check it out. I have a link in my show notes to participating restaurants. Now, I told you last week that I got an email from a listener who was taking me to task over something that I said about carbon monoxide alarms. And here is what he writes. He says, "Hello, I really like the show. I've listened to most of the episodes. I have been waiting to write for a while with suggestions for improving the show. What really triggered this was the misinformation that you provided in the last episode about carbon monoxide detectors. You mentioned 3 sources of deadly gas, only one of which a carbon monoxide detector would be warning against. Let's see here. 1, byproduct of incomplete combustion of cooking water heater gas. This produces carbon monoxide. It is odorless and supposedly what killed the people in Playa del Carmen. Number 2, cooking water heater gas. This is propane, and although it is naturally odorless, it has a rotten egg smell added to warn people. If the landlord needed to replace a gas valve, as you indicated, then it would be to address a propane leak. Propane is not toxic, but could cause a fire. Also, it could cause asphyxiation by driving out all the oxygen, but the leak would need to be very, very bad, and an explosion would be a greater concern. The carbon monoxide detector would not help for a gas leak." And number 3, sewer gas. Many properties in town do not have drain traps in sinks or floor drains or P or J traps. This enables sewer gas to come back into the home. The danger is hydrogen sulfide, which is also poisonous at very low concentrations. The other problem with hydrogen sulfide is you stop smelling it after a short period of time, but the effects continue. The carbon monoxide detector would not help for a sewer gas problem. The only real solution for homes without drain traps is to flush lots of water down the drain. In short, a carbon monoxide detector is only effective as a warning for bad gas appliances. If there is no gas used, then there is not needed. Then he goes on and gives me some tips on how to make the show better. Okay, let's see. I'm a little disturbed by the word misinformation, but let's just review if we could. This was back on April the 26th when I talked about a situation where I was sure that I had been poisoned, carbon monoxide poisoning, when I stayed at an Airbnb in Puerto Vallarta. And this was the episode that featured Nacho Daddy. So if you want to listen to that again, you can, and kind of listen to what I said. Now, I did mention that there was a strong rotten egg odor in the unit when we opened up the place, and I'm sure that my mention of the odor triggered this email, this response. And yes, I can see that maybe a rotten egg odor, had it been poisonous, may not have been detected by the CO alarm, but still, I know what propane smells like, and it wasn't propane. In fact, I'm pretty sure most people know what propane smells like. So I wasn't saying that it was a propane leak. Now, it could have been a number of things in the condo. There was a water heater inside the unit, and there was a stove and an oven inside the unit. So yes, there were appliances in the unit. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that the CO poisoning was a result of one of those appliances. So I stand corrected, I suppose. Odoriferous smells will not be detected by a CO detector, as you write. But I don't know if you're suggesting I wasn't poisoned. I was. So I guess what I should take away, I guess what we all should understand from this email is that, as the writer writes, carbon monoxide is odorless and can kill you. And if you have appliances in your condo or the apartment that you're renting, and you don't have a carbon monoxide alarm, as I stated, you could die if there is a problem. Now, if you smell something, it may or may not kill you. It won't be detected by a CO alarm, and it is often caused by, as the writer writes, poor plumbing, and can be solved by running water down the drain. Okay, so in a nutshell, there you have it. I still recommend that if you are going to be going to a condo and there is no CO detector in the condo, and the condo has, like an oven and has a stove, and may or may not have a water heater inside the unit like I did, then it makes a lot of sense to bring your own carbon monoxide detector. So I brought it to the last place I stayed at, and as a matter of fact, I didn't leave it there for those exact reasons. There was no water heater inside the unit, and in that particular unit, there were no cooking utensils. So I didn't leave it there for that reason. But once again, I think it's a good idea to bring it. And again, I want to thank you for the note. I like getting emails. If it's criticism, that's fine. If I'm spouting off and I'm giving untruths, I want to hear about it. So, and of course, if you have suggestions, by all means, please send me an email. This is how we get better here at the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. So thank you for that. All right, enough of this gas talk. Okay, let's get to the interview and let's get to my guest. Last May, I had an open microphone event in front of Chilaquiles. Actually, I had announced it on the podcast and sent it out to my Facebook friends, and actually had planned to have the event a day earlier than I really did, because Chilaquiles was closed on Mother's Day, and we had to reschedule for the following day. So I was a little bit worried that those people who had planned to come and meet me the day before had other plans, and actually that was the case. So I reached out to one of my friends in Puerto Vallarta, who does personalized tours, and I asked him if he would just come down to the beach and talk with me, and of course with you guys too. So he said yes. And it's a really good thing that he did, because otherwise I'd have been all alone, eating chips and guacamole there in front of Cuates, drinking beer, crying, waiting for somebody, and it would have all been there on the Cuates cam. You'd have been watching poor Barry sitting there with nobody to talk to. So thank goodness for my friend Memo Lira of Vallarta 101. So here he is right now. Memo, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell my listeners a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And what was your path to Puerto Vallarta?
I'm from Mexico City. I was born there a few years ago. And I lived there all my life.
I won't say anything,
Yeah, and I lived there all my life till I moved here almost 7 years ago. And this is home now, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how I came here or why I came here, why I decided one day to just come here. But I remember very clearly I was sitting in my living room. This was in the middle of the year 2010. And I thought, okay, I need to go somewhere else. Where am I going to go that is better than Mexico City in Mexico? And Puerto Vallarta, was it. So I just moved. I had been here before a couple times, and you probably know everyone who comes here and comes back feels like coming back again and then again and again and again. So it happened to me, and after the third time I came and I stayed.
Yeah.
So I feel retired now. I do feel that. Yeah.
Well, the reason I have you on is because you do tours. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
When I arrived here, I didn't know what I was going to do. I actually came here with a few plans, but I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. It was like a little adventure. And then a few months after I had arrived, I had the chance to start working for a food tour company. At the time, it was the first company that was doing that. It was a new thing. It was something I hadn't been seen before. So I thought it was great. I thought that it was a great chance for me to enjoy Vallarta and not have a very formal job, which is what I didn't want to do. And it turned out to be amazing. Vallarta Eats was great. I worked with them for almost 5 years, doing food tours. Then after that, I decided that I wanted to do more than just that, because after almost 5 years of doing the food tours and listening to people's questions, I knew that there was way more that they wanted to learn about Vallarta. So I decided to do my own thing. I decided to launch a project called Vallarta 101. And I don't consider myself a tour guide, and I don't think I do tours. I think it's walks. But I really do believe that these are experiences. What I think I'm doing is I'm trying to share what I know and what I enjoy about Vallarta with others, and it's working out great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, people really love you. So would you kind of walk us through one of these tours? Tell us what you do.
Well, Vallarta 101, I decided that many people came to Vallarta, to experience the beach, and that's it. People were missing other things. Vallarta is much more than just the beach, right?
Right.
Vallarta is a lot of culture, art, food, of course, right? The people, hidden spots, lots of things. Mm-hmm. So 101, an introductory lesson to something. I thought I was going to give people the chance to really enjoy Vallarta like anybody else from here does. and I was going to give him an introductory lesson into different things. At the beginning, I thought it was going to be just one tour. I thought I was really naive, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to do a Vallarta 101 walk, which will show everything that you can do in Vallarta, and I was wrong, and now I have 10 different walks, and a few more coming, because there's so much 101s that we can show.
Yeah. So you've got like food tour maybe 101, and you've got
well, actually a little bit more specific than that.
Okay.
It's taco 101 and seafood 101. I decided that I wanted to showcase things that I like, because I believe that if you don't love what you do and you don't show what you like doing, then people will not buy it, if you know what I mean. So I only show what I like, and I like tacos, and I had been doing a lot of food tours related to tacos, so I know how to show them. So I decided that I was going to do Taco 101.
Right, Memo knows his tacos.
Yeah, I love seafood, because we have the best seafood here. And it's sad to see sometimes that people come and only eat coconut shrimp at the same restaurant all the time, which is fine, right? But they're missing out. And I came up with Seafood 101. And I also love breakfast, so why not do a Breakfast 101 so I can show people how Mexican breakfast,
all right,
what it's all about.
All right, tell me. All right, let's walk through a Breakfast 101.
Tell
me what a Breakfast 101 includes.
Breakfast is, for me, the most important meal of the day. I dream about breakfast the night before. I do. I dream about my coffee and what I'm going to eat for breakfast the next day.
All right.
So I thought I could show that. And a lot of people believe that Mexicans don't eat a big breakfast. And Mexican breakfast is not just coffee and toast. There's so much more. So I came up with this walk where I take people to 3 different places, and I show them what we eat for breakfast. So we go to a juice and smoothie place first. The famous jugos y licuados.
Now, do you go to like a stand?
Yes, sometimes we go to a stand on the street. Sometimes we go to a bigger place. It depends. It really depends on the crowd, on the people that I have, on the day.
Yeah.
Because sometimes places are closed on certain days. So it changes. But we go there first, and so people learn the way we mix our juices, and and they learn the words that they are supposed to know, so they can go back. And then I take them to a Mexican taco place where they can have a breakfast taco, because many people don't know that we eat tacos for breakfast.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
for lunch.
It's like eating your dessert before dinner. So, what's a breakfast taco look like?
Well, there are so many breakfast dishes that we eat on tacos, because a taco is just a tortilla with any dish.
Right.
So there's machaca, there's birria, probably the most popular breakfast taco in the state of Jalisco. And it's available every morning on the streets or at many restaurants. Or carnitas. Many people don't know that carnitas is usually a breakfast taco in Mexico.
Really?
Some of these carnitas taco stands open at 6 a.m.
Amazing.
And there's people eating tacos at that time. So I wanted to show that, and that's the second stop on the tour, on that walk.
Good.
And then we end up going to another very Mexican, very local place, a beautiful place, to have chilaquiles, because what's the most Mexican breakfast dish, I think, chilaquiles.
Yeah.
But I can also show them other dishes, for example, molletes. Many people don't know what molletes are.
Tell us about it.
Molletes, well, it's so simple. It's a piece of bread with refried beans and melted cheese. It's like pizza bread with beans instead of tomato sauce. And it's delicious. And you can add bacon or ham, and it's a very Mexican breakfast dish, and it's so easy, so I take them to eat that.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's fun. So it's a couple of hours, and people learn about breakfast, and they have breakfast. And it's free. People pay whatever they want. I don't charge. This is not a business for me. I consider it a hobby and an occupation that I enjoy doing. So I I don't charge anything up front. I don't want to do that.
Right.
I know that there are people who do it, and that's fine.
Uh-huh.
So I just take people out, and then people pay whatever they want if they're happy. That's
Yeah.
the deal.
Well, I bet that they're always happy.
They're always happy, yeah.
You know?
And, it's a proven fact that generosity makes people happier.
Yeah. Well, look at that. See, now this is your evil plan. I like this. You're good. All right. All right. So, in other words, so when Memo gives these tours, you guys, they're free tours. I mean, he advertises them as free tours, and then he does say that if you like the tour, pay me what you think you'd like to pay me. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That's
Well, it is also a little experiment that I decided that I wanted to conduct.
Yeah.
Spiritually, spiritually, you would not need to work hard to make money. If you love what you do and you are able to transmit your knowledge and your passion in a good way, you're not supposed to work hard for money. Spiritually.
Uh-huh.
That's according to Kabbalah, which is an ancient wisdom that I try to practice and study.
Uh-huh. So you're doing a social experiment on us, aren't
Yes,
you?
I'm seeing how it goes, and it's been great actually. I started doing this a couple of years ago, but really it's been only 1 year that I'm doing it like more formally, and I love doing it because I am getting so many people that I think probably would not come on a tour any other time, and they would probably miss out on many things that I can show them. I think.
Oh, I
And,
agree.
like it's before I started doing this, I remember when I was working for other companies, it was mostly American tourists
Uh-huh.
that came on my tours. But now, I get people from all over the world
Wow.
that we didn't get before, that I didn't get before.
Now that's because of word of mouth? What's going on with that?
Yes, I guess that's it. Yeah, because I don't advertise really. I don't. Well, I mean, just a little.
Yeah, I mean,
on
you do
Facebook or-
Facebook posts and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't pay for that. Like, I
No.
don't pay for that.
No, right.
People tell me all the time, you should pay for a Facebook campaign. Well, maybe then I would be so busy that I wouldn't have. Yeah, and I am busy already. So I think it's word of mouth.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know where people from Israel or from Sweden or the Netherlands or from South America know about it, because now I get people from all over that we didn't get before, and that's great.
That is great. Must
Yeah.
make you feel really good.
Yeah.
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 Tell us about another one of your tours. I mean, you've got 10 of them. So we talked a little bit about food. Maybe tell us a little bit about what you would do.
Well, it all started with the Vallarta 101 tour, which now I call PV 101.
Okay.
And that's like the general introduction to Puerto Vallarta. Because I know that many people come here and they don't even know where they are. And I mean it in a good way, but sometimes you talk to people and they think that, Vallarta is across the border.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's, good for people to know a little bit more. So I came up with PV 101. So I teach people the basics, where we are, how many states there are in this country, and what we do, and how old Vallarta is, because most people don't know anything about, the history. And I don't go into history very much. I tell them just a little bit what they need to know, 101, the basics.
Yeah.
And I also tell them how to navigate Vallarta and how to take the bus, or how to catch a taxi, or how to exchange money, or how safe it is, or what to do or what not to do, or what's happening in towns. Many people come here when we're celebrating our 100 years and they don't know. And they
Yeah.
don't know about that. So I what I do on PV 101 is that I take people out, make them feel comfortable, and give them information, and they take it from there. So that's, I think, the most important walk that I have.
Uh-huh.
And then all the others go from there. I am about to start a few new ones because I decided that I had to start doing a walk by neighborhood.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So I have
So you're going to break them up into different neighborhoods, and you're going to do
yeah,
this.
I already have a downtown 101 and an old town 101,
Good.
which I'm thinking that I'm going to change because it's not old town, That's one of the things that
Yeah. It's
we
becoming a new
we
town.
talk about. Yeah, so I think we should start by changing the name of that. But anyway, I'm also going to do Cinco de Diciembre 101.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a great neighborhood, and
It is.
so many just gems just laying in there. Great places to eat, cool little shops.
Yeah. That neighborhood is
Yeah.
about to start growing in a nice
Yeah.
way, and still many people don't know. They don't even know why Cinco de Diciembre is called Cinco de Diciembre.
All right, let's come on out with it, brother.
And
Wait. Don't go there. What is it? Why is
Oh,
it
you
called
wanna
Cinco
know?
de Diciembre?
Oh,
Let's do
I'm
it.
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
Well,
all right.
It's Cinco de Diciembre is the date when there's this figure in Mexico called ejido, which is this legal figure through which people were given land after the Mexican Revolution. And the first area where that happened in Vallarta was that neighborhood, now called Cinco de Diciembre because that happened in Vallarta for the first time on December 5th.
Ah,
I mean, that's in very generally what
Huh?
that's all about, and that's why the name of the neighborhood. And most people who live there don't know.
sure, right.
And and I don't know everything either. That's all I know. But it's nice that other people can know. So I want to share that. I'm also going to do a couple of nighttime walks because as of now I only do it during the day.
Yeah.
But now that it's the summer and it's hot during the day, well, we can start doing it at night. So I'm about to start doing a few walks. For example, I'm going to do Gringo Gulch 101.
At night.
But we're going to do it for sunset, yeah.
Good.
Because it's nicer if you walk that neighborhood when it's sunset time and places are open. Like in the restaurants, there's a few restaurants that are nice over there. So I'm about to start doing that. I consider that another neighborhood,
Sure.
Gringo Gulch, even though it's part of the Centro neighborhood. I'm also going to do a Cocoa 101 walk, but
Yeah.
basically not really chocolate cocoa. I mean, cacao, the pure ingredient,
Uh-huh.
not chocolate. Because now the chocolate scene is exploding in Vallarta, and there's lots of chocolate places, chocolate factories, the chocolate museum. So I love chocolate, and I only like doing walks about things that I love and I like. So why not teach people about the history of chocolate, how cocoa is processed into chocolate, and then take people to the most popular chocolate factories in the area and have them try chocolate. So
Oh, that sounds like an awful tour, man.
Yeah.
I mean, sign me up.
So I'm gonna start doing that too. So basically, so I can have fun while I do it.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
That's a great plan. So, and it's also a great idea to move a lot of this stuff during the summertime into more cooler time for the visitors because it during the day it's tough, it's rough.
Yeah. Well, my walks start early in the day at 9 a.m. So that one's okay. But the food ones usually start at lunchtime at noon.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a little hard maybe during the summer, but we'll manage.
Yeah.
We'll run from one place to the other and look for the air conditioning.
Right.
And
walk on the shady side of the street.
Yeah. I mean, it's Vallarta. We cannot hide from the weather.
No.
And it's actually beautiful when you decide that it's enjoyable.
Yes.
Right?
You come with that attitude, and that's what happens.
That's
right?
what we have to do. Otherwise, it's unbearable.
Miserableness. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think.
Now, you are pretty much an expert in cool places to eat around Puerto Vallarta because you work that food tour. You work your own food tour. Give us give us your 3 favorite places to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
I know you're going to make some people mad.
I shouldn't say anything. Well, everybody knows, I think, that the places that I go to are the places that I like.
Yeah.
It's hard to have just one favorite. I really don't have just one favorite. But for breakfast,
Well, that's why I asked you to give me 3. At least
and I think I should mention one that is one of my favorites for breakfast and for lunch and for dinner.
Okay.
Because I think this place deserves the mention in the 3 categories.
Okay.
And that's El Campanario. by the Church of Guadalupe.
Yeah, I had dinner there last night.
Okay, well, so you know what I mean.
Well, tell everybody else what you mean.
Yeah, well, it's a great local place. It's been in business for a long time, and it's a family business, and which means that they're able to have a low expenses and a low overhead, and they don't pay rent of the place because they own it. So that means very affordable, inexpensive prices, which in this particular case doesn't mean bad quality. On the contrary, and it's authentic. And I know that a lot of people come to Mexico, and especially to Vallarta, looking for authentic Mexican, and they cannot find it because there's Mexican American, Mexican contemporary, other Mexicans, but this is authentic Mexican, and especially Vallartan Mexican.
Yeah.
So that's why I like it for breakfast, for lunch, and for lunch they have a set menu, which is great. And then for supper, they have very nice dishes that are really nighttime dishes that Mexicans eat at night, like pozole, like tacos, like crispy tacos. So it's very unique, and it's inexpensive. So that would be my one mention.
But that's a great one, man. All right, good.
And obviously I go there on almost all my tours.
They like you there,
well,
too.
The breakfast one and the taco one.
They're always busy there, too. And sometimes you have to wait in line, but you know what? That goes fast. It's comida corrida, so it's fast food. They bring it to you fast, and, usually it's easy.
Sometimes not so fast. And, they have to know. They know. I've told them many times. It's no secret, but it's a family business. And, the pace of life in Vallarta is a little slower than normal, so you might as well wait.
Yeah.
No, but it's a great place.
Yeah. Okay, so
for breakfast, a new place that I visit regularly in this area, I usually go to places that are around downtown or Old Town because I live there, and that's where I do my walks. So I will probably talk about these places more than places in other areas. But there's a little place that belongs to the Cathedral Hotel. It's a little boutique hotel downtown.
Uh-huh.
And their little restaurant is called Metate. Metate. And it's a great little shop. A little place, little restaurant. They might have 6 tables, but they have excellent food, only breakfast. And, for example, they have 8 different kinds of chilaquiles.
Whoa, 8 different kinds of chilaquiles.
You always go to places and there's red and green.
Right.
Well, here they have red, green, and then they have a mole sauce chilaquiles dish, yeah. And then they have sauce with chocolate, a chocolate sauce, because of the name of the restaurant, Metate. Metate is this rock that Mayans used to use to grind cocoa beans or corn kernels.
Uh-huh.
That's a Metate. That's the name of the restaurant, and they have a lot of dishes made with chocolate. So they have chilaquiles with chocolate.
Whoa.
Yeah, plus 4 others with weird. I don't mean to say weird. No, I should say unique sauces. Like they have a pink sauce. It's not red, it's pink.
Yeah.
And they have another sauce made with grasshoppers from Oaxaca.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, are they tastier? Are the Oaxacan grasshoppers tastier than the ones that we get around here in Jalisco? Is that what the deal is?
I don't know. That's a good question. But that's the thing. So that's a great place. It's a very small place, but I like it for breakfast.
How interesting. I've never heard of it. I'll definitely have, and remember you guys that I'm going to have links to all of the restaurants that Memo's talking about in the show notes for this episode. I'm going to have a picture of Memo, and I'll tell you how you can get a hold of him too. And you'll, like I said, you'll find those in the show notes of this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. All right. So those are 2 places. Well, you got one that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You got one that's a crazy, cool place where you eat chocolate for breakfast. What else you got?
One more for breakfast. The usual places that people go to for breakfast. Maybe I shouldn't mention those because everybody knows those.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know about the Coexist Cafe. You know about that one?
Tell everybody about it.
Yeah, the Coexist Cafe or restaurant is another one of my favorites because the place is great. I think the pool, it's nice, even though it's more like a fountain. But it's great when you're having breakfast there. Yeah, it's a great place, but it's a great atmosphere, and they have very good food.
Yeah.
Not only for breakfast, actually, but breakfast I think is particularly good. So I like that place too.
Very nice.
That's 3 for breakfast.
That pool, though, you got to watch it because sometimes they actually have little kids' parties in that pool. So you want to kind of keep away from that pool if you can.
Yeah, well, that's why I go there for
dining there.
breakfast.
Oh,
Because,
okay.
it's early in the day, and
Yeah.
maybe that's why I've never seen a party. Yeah, I like it for breakfast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great choice. Yeah, Coexist is nice.
Yeah. For lunch, well, I already told you a campanario.
Yes, you did.
Another one. Lunch is the main meal of the day in Mexico.
Yeah, except for when you're eating 10 different kinds of chilaquiles in the morning. Okay.
Well, but Mexicans eat a lot of food, I think, at every meal.
Yeah.
Well, not every one, I guess. But usually lunch is like a full meal, like
Yeah.
a big meal. So I don't really eat that out. I usually try cooking at home.
Okay.
By the way.
That's
But-
very Puerto Vallarta of you because a lot of my guests they tell me the same thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if I go out, that's when I go for seafood, because I love seafood. When the sun is shining. I think most Mexicans do. That's when we eat seafood. Not so early in the morning, or not for dinner. Like I think that a lot of Americans eat dinner.
Sure.
And when they eat dinner, they eat seafood. We don't really. I think we prefer fresh seafood, and that's what I do. So if I had to choose a great place for lunch, La Mara, for ceviche and aguachile. It's a place in the Versailles neighborhood. So it's outside of the south or downtown area.
Yeah.
But it's a great place that you should at least visit once, because they have excellent ceviche and aguachile by the tostada or by the serving. And it's made with mahi-mahi or shrimp or tuna. So it's like 20 different kinds. So I love that place. It's
Yeah.
always packed. It's always busy, but it's well worth the wait.
Wow. Yeah, and it's out of town too, so it's unusual that it would be so busy. But I guess they get a lot of local too as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's probably more locals than tourists.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing place, and I guess it's very successful now because it's always busy. They
Yeah.
actually just renovated the place, I think. So they're growing, and it's a great place.
Okay.
So I love that.
La Mara.
But if I don't go there, like if I don't feel like taking a taxi to go there, taking the bus to go there, if I want to walk, a fish taco is always great. So marisma for fish tacos. I think that's the best fish taco in Mexico.
Yeah, and now that's a taco stand.
It's a taco stand, yeah. It's a 30-year-old taco stand. Yeah, because today they have another restaurant, actually a restaurant at the
They do?
marina.
Ah,
Marisma, same name, same menu, but it's a restaurant. But the original one, they opened 30 years ago by the Emiliano Zapata market, by the tunnel that comes into the Emiliano Zapata neighborhood.
Mhm.
That's a taco stand.
Uh-huh.
Actually at the porch of the owner's home. And that's the best fish taco. It's made with mahi-mahi. They deep fry it. It's always fresh. And they deep fry it, and at the moment you order it, not 3 hours before, and they reheat it, because that's what a lot of people do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This one's made to order. It's so fresh. And the tortilla is made by hand.
Now that's unusual around here.
It is. Especially for fish tacos. If you go to other taco stands, they do make handmade tortillas
Okay.
for meaty tacos. But for fish tacos, people are sometimes a little, I don't want to say lazy, but I don't know what it is. But they obviously buy the tortillas before, but they also pre-fry the food. Like they pre-fry the fish, and it's not bad at all. But making it at the moment is better.
Yeah.
And that's why I go there, Marisma.
Marisma.
It's the best fish taco in Mexico, I think. I've had them everywhere in Mexico. These are the best.
Right on.
These are Baja style fish tacos. You know those? The owners are from Baja California originally.
All right, so how would a Baja style fish taco look? What do they put on those?
Well, it's a fish taco that comes on a corn tortilla, in this case made by hand, which is usually obviously a bigger, thicker and better tortilla.
Always tastier.
Yeah. Then piece of white fish. In this case, mahi-mahi, which is Vallarta's best fish, so it's a good quality fish. And in this case, very fresh from today, like it's never been frozen, so it's very soft and not fishy.
Mm-hmm.
And they batter it, and the secret is in the batter, but they don't want to tell me what it is. They don't. I have
You've
asked
tried, huh? Yeah.
repeatedly, but no. And they deep fry it. And then they serve it, the tortilla and the piece of fish, with carrots and cabbage,
Nice.
like slow.
Right.
And then the salsas, a Mexican taco without salsa,
It's not a taco.
it's not a taco. So lots of salsas, usually chipotle, mayonnaise, guacamole, and
wow.
salsa mexicana, and others. Marisma has excellent salsas. It's a great place. I love it. And tacos are inexpensive and fresh and delicious. So I go there for lunch. Everybody should go there for lunch at least once.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my second place and my third place. Yeah.
Excellent.
And dinner, dinner in Mexico, in my particular case, dinner is usually a lighter meal. Like we call it cena. And it's not the main meal of the day, and we don't usually go out, at least not on a weekday, to eat at night. So it would be hard for me to select places because I don't go to places very often. But I know of good places that I've been to, like that I consider places that I go to on special occasions. But it would be great. They would be great places for a great Mexican dinner.
Yeah.
No Way Jose, for example.
Yeah.
I love their chiles en nogada.
Really? Okay, so tell everybody about chiles en nogada. How is that made?
A chile en nogada is chile relleno, a stuffed pepper. Many people don't know that stuffed peppers can be different kinds.
Mm-hmm.
A stuffed pepper could be any pepper, and you could stuff it with anything and cover it with any kind of sauce. And most people are familiar with the stuffed pepper with a red sauce, but this one is a stuffed pepper with a white sauce, which is made with almonds and walnuts
Oh, wow.
and cream and other things. It's a white sauce. The pepper is green. Of course, it's a poblano pepper. It's a big one of those big poblano peppers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the filling is usually beef and pork together, and nuts, almonds, walnuts,
Wow.
pecans, and dry fruit,
Oh,
dates, raisins. It's like a holiday stuffing.
uh-huh.
It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that goes inside, and then on top of the sauce, pomegranate seeds. So it's a green pepper with the stuffing, and the almond walnut sauce that is white, and the red pomegranate seeds on top. So it's the three colors of the Mexican flag. That's a dish that was invented 200 years ago when they started the Mexican independence movement. So every September, when we celebrate Mexican independence, that dish is available at restaurants. But at No Way Jose, it's available all the time. And when you order it, they give you two
Really?
big ones. So it's a great dish. It's a delicious dish. And by the way, and it's served cold or warm.
Really?
It's one of those dishes that you can eat when it's very cold and it's delicious, or warm and it's delicious.
Wow.
So that's a great one. It's a great dinner place.
Yeah. No Way Jose.
I'm sorry?
No Way Jose.
No Way Jose. Yes, in Old Town.
Yeah. How long have they been there, you know?
I don't know, but many years, I think more than 10, 15
Yeah.
years.
Okay.
I don't know.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a great choice.
Yeah, that's a good one. Another one, I don't know.
But you don't have to, you could stop there.
Because supper is not the main meal of the day for me. Sometimes I try to get something light. So I go to the vegetarian place.
Yeah, which one do you go to?
Well, I go to the vegetarian buffet.
Okay. The Veggie
The
Planet?
Veggie Planet, but
Yeah.
Planeta Vegetariano.
Uh-huh.
But I also lately try going to it used to be a place called Vegetable, but they recently moved into the Jazz Foundation.
Oh,
Like they used to have Vegetable, but Vegetable moved in the building where the Jazz Foundation is, which is a club on the Malecon.
yes.
And so during the day, they offer their menu, their vegan menu, and then at night, upstairs at the Jazz Foundation, they have an excellent vegan menu cooked by the people who used to be at Vegetable. So that's an excellent
Well, what a great tip.
choice for a vegan or vegetarian dinner at a great place.
Yeah.
And I consider it light, you know, 'cause I like that place a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that's 3.
Yeah, it is 3. And man, you nailed it, man. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 of them there.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's ask you what you would do if you had a day to cut out of Puerto Vallarta. You wanted just to take a day trip, so you're going to go somewhere and you're going to come back. What would that place be?
Well, obviously, so many places.
Yeah, but do you have like your favorite?
To
Is there
go
like
to.
one that sticks out and you're going to go, okay, I got to get out of town, and this is where you're going to go?
It's funny because sometimes people who live in a place don't get out too much, you know, to other places. Actually, that's one of the things that I'm trying to do now, try to get out more than I used to the places that are closer. Because I do get out a lot outside of Vallarta, but I go far away. I go to Guadalajara or Mexico City. I try to travel out of the country at least once a year. And I'm trying to do it twice a year. Hopefully for a long time, maybe in the summer.
Well, come on, take some of Memo's tours so we can get out of the country a couple of times.
Yes.
All right? Yeah, that's how you do that.
And then, get more experience and come back and share more. I'm very excited about this. I'm going this year. I'm going to Israel for the second time. And I'm going to lead a tour.
Really?
Over there, yeah. I'm so excited.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. The guy from Mexico City is going to be leading a tour in Israel.
Yeah, well, it's not that, like I know a lot about that place or I'm qualified to lead a tour. But last time I was there, I had the chance to translate for a tour guide. There was a group. I was there with a group, and the tour guide spoke only English, and many people in the group didn't speak any Spanish, so I had the chance to translate the whole tour. It was like a 3.5-hour tour. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
In Jerusalem's old city, around the some of the most incredible, historic sites. And I was translating everything, so I learned a lot, and it was shocking at the beginning, but then I loved it. And then they invited me to do it again.
No, they did.
This year, yeah. But not only translating, but leading the group, not only once, because they thought that maybe I did a good job, so they invited me to lead the group for 15 days. So it's quite a challenge, but I like it.
Wow.
Not like I'm going to be maybe teaching them a lot, but I'm going to be helping them move around, find their way, because I've been there before. So I'm excited about that. So that's why I try to get out. But I want to do that around this area because I haven't done it much, I have to confess.
Well, you'll get around then.
But you know
maybe...
what? There's a place.
Yes.
There's a place that I think are worth exploring. They are not the usual places where people go to. I mean, it's great to go to any of the other towns that are accessible only by boat, like Yelapa, like Quimixto, like Las Animas. Everybody knows about those places. Or if you go to the other side of the bay, everybody knows about Bucerias and Sayulit and all those places. But there's other places that sometimes people overlook. And for example, there's this place, we were talking about chocolate before. There's this place called Planeta Cacao, like Cocoa Planet, in the state of Nayarit. It's part of Banderas Bay, of course. I don't remember exactly how to get there, but you can Facebook
I'll get you there.
it.
I'll get you there.
You can Google it,
Yeah.
Planeta Cacao, and I'm actually going there this weekend. And it's a place where they actually grow cocoa trees. That you can see a couple of cocoa trees at the botanical gardens, but this is a place where they have more than just one or two. It's actually
Like a grove?
a project that they're what?
A grove? A whole bunch of them? again?
Yeah, I know. I don't know yet because I haven't been, but it's your chance to learn about cocoa right there. So that's one thing,
And that's close by.
and it's close, so you can find out. It's called Planeta Cacao,
Okay.
and there are other things like that. Going to the Estero, of course. I don't know if you've been. Most people haven't. It's by the marina, and it's a great natural reserve. Places like that I want to start visiting before I go to the usual places again.
Yeah.
You know? And so I can maybe start taking people to those places.
Sure.
You know?
So you can expand your horizons, and by that way, you'll be expanding other
Yeah.
visitors' horizons too.
Yeah. Hopefully I can do that. That's my plan.
Yeah, that's a great plan.
You know, the idea is to come up with experiences that people will enjoy.
Yeah.
That are not the usual experiences.
Yeah,
that
and,
people,
and then they'll come back, and then they'll say, "Hey, let's do this one," and "Hey, let's do that one," and
Yeah. For example, one experience that I'm also about to start doing. You reminded me. It's mango season,
Yeah.
and a couple of weeks ago, I was with a group of people, and I showed them a mango tree, because you know now it's the time when mangoes are starting to fall from the sky.
Yeah, they are.
And you see them everywhere. And I showed him a mango tree, and one of the ladies, she was from England, by the way. We're getting a lot of people from England lately.
Yeah.
And she said to me, "You know, I've never seen a mango live, like in person. I've never held a mango in my hands." So we went to the market and bought a mango and opened the mango and ate it with a little bit of tajin, you know, that chili powder.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, why not do a Mango 101 and let's go eat mangoes? Because there are so many ways we can eat mangoes, so many different kinds of mangoes. That's the first thing people don't know.
No, I didn't know that.
That there's different kinds of mangoes, and most importantly, people don't know that you can add chili powder to the mango.
Yeah.
And then if you can make a smoothie, add some milk and add some vanilla and some cinnamon, and it's an amazing smoothie, and things like that.
Wow.
So that's the kind of thing that I look for, you know, and I enjoy it, and they enjoy it. So
What a great idea. That's
Yeah.
that's really, I mean, and there is no shortage of mangoes in Puerto Vallarta. My bed and breakfast, actually, there's this giant mango tree hanging over it, and I was sitting on the patio last night minding my own business, and a mango plopped down into the pool behind me. Scared the you-know-what out of me, but, they're just falling off of trees, man.
yeah,
They're all
well,
over.
sometimes they fall on your head. You need to be
Oh, yeah.
careful too. Yeah, they can. Yeah, you can get hit a little hard with a mango.
Yeah.
But I guess it's good luck also.
That's what they say. If you could live to tell the tale. If you were going to give a first-time visitor to Puerto Vallarta a piece of advice, what would it be?
I think that the first thing I would say is,
I mean, besides taking one of your tours, because that goes without saying,
maybe I
Memo.
should have said that.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't think of that.
I'm helping you out.
Thank you. No, do your own research. Don't listen to anybody. Do your own research. I mean, we live in a time when you can go online and find out about everything there is to do at a place in 5 seconds, in a friendly way. Everybody can do it. I would just say, go ahead and do your research and enjoy. I've seen a terrible increase in fear, the fear of the people to travel anywhere, not only to Mexico, but I know about this place. And sometimes people miss out on coming to incredible places like this because they have fear. And, sometimes when we hear bad news, they have mixed feelings and people don't come. And I've seen it because people sometimes cancel my walks after news in the newspaper, things like that. So I would tell people, don't listen to what other people say. Do your own research and come and enjoy. There's so much to see that people are missing out, and nobody should miss out. Everybody should have the chance to enjoy what this is. That's what life is all about. So that's my first piece of advice. Use the internet. Use the resources available to you, and come. Don't think about it. Don't think too much. I think that's what I would tell him.
Yeah, good. That's good advice.
Is it?
Because I do, every once in a while, I hear people that are in these like all-inclusives and stuff like that, and a lot of the all-inclusives want to keep them there, so they say, "Don't go into town; it's dangerous," and stuff like that. You get people canceling for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's not only unfortunately the all-inclusives. We've heard stories about the cruise ships.
Yeah.
I think those tactics are on their way out. I think that's always been around. It's not new. We just know about it now.
Yeah.
Because now people have the chance to
tell you on social media.
Exactly.
Right. Say, hey, you know what happened? They told me that I shouldn't leave the resort because I might get mugged. Stay here. It's safer.
Yeah. For a long time, people have been taking advantage of that situation. Okay, it's over. And those tactics are on their way out, I think. And that's why I say, do your own research and use the resources available to you. Go online. There's lots of platforms where you can, check for yourself, who you go with, and just be confident and go and enjoy. There's so much to see.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly right. All right, so if somebody wanted to get a hold of you and wanted to book one of your tours, how would they do that?
Well, you can go online. I have a website. Very simple, Vallarta101.org, O-R-G. Or Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Vallarta101. Or if you go to facebook.com/We Love Vallarta, that's Vallarta101. And you can get all the information there. And then if you want to book any of the walks on the website, you just click on the button that says reservations at the bottom of each of the walks and make a reservation. And it's free, And if you decide not to come, well, just don't come. It would be better if you could let us know, because my groups are really small.
Yeah.
6 to 10 people. Sometimes one person, but sometimes it's 6 or 7 or 8. And we appreciate when you cancel because then there's room for other persons. But it's simple, so if you want to come, just do that. And if you can't, well, you can come another time. There are different schedules, different times. I'm not the only one who does the walks. I have 2 great friends that love Vallarta, that have lived here for a long time, that want to do what I do. So it's not going to be only me. So that's why I say we sometimes. And you can see who we are on the website also. And there's an email, an Instagram account. Everything is there.
No, you're all set.
Yeah.
All right. So if you haven't written all that stuff down, you can always find it. You know where at PuertoVallartaTravelShow.com. I'll have all the links to all the contact information so you can get a hold of Memo when you come down here. And I need to just tell you guys, you got to go try Memo. He's gonna give you the greatest tour, and he's so knowledgeable about, food and the area, and as you can hear, his English is fantastic, right? So you won't have any trouble understanding what he's saying when you're taking the tour. And
sometimes I don't get some of the words. Sometimes, English is not my native language, and especially I get a couple words confused every now and then, but you bear with me.
You could have fooled me, Memo. You did great. Memo, I want to thank you so much for coming on this show and for letting me introduce you to my listeners. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Barry. You're welcome to come on any of the walks anytime, and everyone is welcome. Please come and enjoy Vallarta. You'll be back many times. Thank you, Barry.
All right. Memo is a great guy, and he is a great guide as well, I have to say. I got this note from one of my Facebook friends, Kathleen Allen, who writes, "My friends and I were the very first tour of Memo Lira and Ana Espinoza Vallarta 101 tour. It was great. It was very informative, and thankfully we took the tour when we arrived so we could enjoy his recommendations. Now that's a really good idea, you guys. So when you do come and arrive in Puerto Vallarta, take a tour with Memo, and that way you will be able to go ahead and return to places that you liked, and you'll have a much better understanding of the place when you go and wander the streets all by yourself. I have pictures of Memo and some of his happy customers, and some great pictures that he sent me to add to the blog post, and they're in the show notes for this episode, so check them out. I also have a link to his website where you can reserve a tour through him. Check out all of his tours. He gives a lot of different tours. I can tell you right now, if you're a first-time visitor to Puerto Vallarta, or even if you're a seasoned visitor, Memo has a tour for you. Okay, well, that should do it for this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. Next week, stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with travel tips, great restaurant and excursion ideas, and more. But until then, remember that this is an interactive show where I depend on your questions and suggestions about all things Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, please reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending us your message. And remember, if you're considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, you must go to vallartainfo.com, that's JR's website, and reserve your tour through him, right from his website. Remember, this is a value-for-value proposition, my friends. His experience and on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for your making a purchase of a tour that you would do anyway. You're just doing it through him as a way of saying thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. It costs no more than if you were going to use someone else, so just do it, really. And when you do take one of his tours, email me about your experiences. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about that tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. And don't forget, he has his maps, he has his DIY tours, his revitalized happy hour board, and more. And once again, if you like this podcast, please take the time and subscribe and give me a good review on iTunes if you would. That way we can get the word out to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Remember, I made it easy for you to do just that with each episode I create, but if you haven't been to my website, you really need to have a look there. I've got links to places that we talk about. I've got some great pictures and more than that in my show notes and in the blog posts for each and every episode that I create. So check them out if you haven't done that already, all right? All right. Well, thank you to Memo Lira. Look him up next time you're coming to Puerto Vallarta. And hey, introduce him to someone that you know who's coming to Vallarta for the first time, and have him take charge of them, all right? All right. Anyway, I have all that great stuff, his info in the show notes for this episode, so check him out. All right. And thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. This is Barry Kessler signing off with a wish for all of you to slow down, be kind, and live the Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Puerto Vallarta.